Hey, this is part two of my heart-shaped Elizabethan hair. This particular version does not require the rat that I used in the last video. You want one that's as closest to your hair color as you can get if you're going to go this route. It's made of netting. I can pin right into it. One of the benefits of using the hair rats is that if I want to, I could just stick something in there to just, kind of point out. And that's really good for as a foundation, like if you want to put in hair jewelry for the later period, we start seeing women sticking things onto their hair, like jewels and this kind of thing. It's really good for that. As well as for a foundation for the heart-shaped headdress in general. If, however, you've forgotten this and you don't have like a sponge roller that you can use, I've used a sponge roller on occasion. It's got its downsides, but in a pinch it can work. If you don't have something like that, what you can do is basically this version, which is futzing around with your hair in all essential. So what I've done, you can see I've done a real sloppy one. And so what I've done, again, we're working with dirty hair. We're not working with super clean hair. You will cry. You want to, you want to spray it down a bit. And just in the last video, we're going to take our ratting comb, right? We're going to back comb a little bit. You want especially to rat here near your hairline. Okay? And I had already roughly quartered my hair, but it looks like it's decided to play around with me a bit. So I'm going to move that to the back. All right. So my hair is poorly quartered. Do a little better job, okay? But this is just a quickie video. Ratting, back combing, more hairspray. Because I'm a Southern woman. And there's never enough hairspray. There's never enough hairspray. All right. So, all right, what you do then is you take your quartered hair, you gather it up like this. There we go. Comb it. Don't comb it where you just ratted. I know that I did that. That was because there was a hole there. And so that you get a pretty even thing going on with what you have in your hand. All right, now you're going to take it and you're basically going to wrap it around your fingers like that. And you take your fingers out and you basically get a curlicue. You can see through that, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'll take my fingers out of the curlicue and I'm just going to roll the curlicue up as though I were rolling my hair on one of those sponge rollers I mentioned. Now, it's going to kind of get away from you. It's trying to do that with me. It's even worse when your hair is clean. Yeah. So what you do is you take your trusty hairpins that you have a bajillion of, and you pin that sucker in place. You want to nail this sucker down. All right. You're going to mess around with it. Now, from here is the futzing. You can see that this looks like crap. This does not look like this side at all. So here's what I'm going to do. You're going to use your mirror, which you totally are going to freaking need for this. You're probably going to swear a lot. That's why I'm not as fond of this particular method. You see me taking my pins out. I'm going to adjust everything again. Here we go. Where you place your little tiny bunlet makes a difference. So you'll need to futz around with that too. All right. Oh, that worked out pretty decently. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with it so that I get my nice even part. I'm going to respray the hair that I already did because there's just a rule. Now, this might not stay all day for you, depending on how your hair responds to hairspray. Oh, wow, that looks very special. Anyway, this might not stay up all day for you, but you should get a good chunk of the day done And this is especially useful for days where you're like, well, I think I'm not going to go 14th century mafia today. Today, I think I'm going to go 16th century, but I didn't bring all my gear. So, but it's good for those days where you just don't want to mess with the rat, or you left the rat somewhere and you can't find anything to use that's reasonable for a rat. Well, we're going to call this decent. All right. And as you can see, you can kind of futz around with it some more and futz around with it and futz around with it. There is a point at which you have to say, okay, I've got what I got. I am just about there. Yeah, just about am. Okay. Remembering that we totally need all the pins and the hairspray that God had put on this earth. Don't let your children play with them. You'll never see them again. And you will be the person in the meme who has purchased 18 billion hairpins, but you could find 4. You have 4 hairpins. Okay. All right. So we're going to call this decently good. Certainly, I think it's good enough to get the point across. And you make sure that your part is parted really, really well. You try to make sure that none of your pins are sticking forward. You get your fancy hair, your fancy headdress on after you've put your hair in a bun, which I've not done. This looks a lot like victory rolls. Nothing to do for that. But it's not bad for a last minute hair. For a last minute kind of hair thing. Or a day where you're just not feeling like messing around with it. All right. You guys have a good one. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you. Have a good one. Bye.